Welcome back to Sonic Generations for DS, and we have Deji guest starring.
Hi!
Have you ever played this? Have you played this one, Dej?
No, only the HD version.
Yeah, the HD version is the better version, so don't worry about it.
Same, but I'm well informed enough to know pretty much the ins and outs of this game.
Alright.
Yeah, basically.
So, Radical Highway is the SA2 stage is exclusive to this version. The remixes were... Okay, so this remix was done by Cash Cash, so obviously it's the one that is the more different from how this track originally sounded. And the Act 2 that we're going to hear in a few minutes was remixed and produced by Circuit Frequency. For those who don't remember, that's the group that did the Eggman remix from Shadow the Hedgehog.
It's called the Robot Mix.
Wasn't it?
Robeat Mix.
Robeat Mix, yeah.
But yeah, the remixes for... Yes. And hey, look, it's the Knight's Head statue, that's nice. But yeah, no, the remixes for this are definitely a lot more diversified, which I appreciate.
Like I said, that was Jun's original idea for when he started the soundtrack. He wanted, basically, since you weren't here when I said this before, Jun's idea for the soundtrack was like this: if it's a classic remix of a modern Sonic stage, which is this case, then we're going to put a new spin on it. If it's a modern mix of a classic era stage, then we're going to put the new spin on. Then it's going to be the modern mix that gets a spin on it, which is why in Green Hill, the Act 1's Green Hill is much more faithful to the original, whereas Jun's modern mix of Green Hill is very guitar heavy and quite putting a new spin on things, basically.
Question.
Yes.
Do you guys remember that one Sonic Free animation recreation of Mushroom Hill Zone by Blob Van
Fuck
Dam?
me.
No. That's not ringing a bell.
It came out before Generations was announced, so I feel like I wonder if they chose that stage for the 3DS version because of that.
I don't know.
But it's kind of funny because people said, "Oh, Generations kind of looks like this game in a way."
That was bullshit, by the way. I was in the middle of a homing chain, and suddenly a plane comes out of nowhere and throws missiles at me, and there was no way I could have even seen that coming. I mean, come on, geesh.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
The thing is,
you're driving to work on speed highway, and then all of a sudden a plane comes.
Actually, Webbs, this is not speed highway. This is actually Radical Highway. Please get your highway straight.
It's a highway.
Actually, it's Route 99.
But okay. That being said,
oh crap! I forgot the SAT.
Hold on. That being said, hold on, guys. I just realized something. Enemies that come because later on, enemies that come out of the sky, out of nowhere, and fall right on top of you. Oh my God! They're imitating exactly how the level design in Sonic Adventure 2 was like. Okay.
No, that's just dimps.
No. Remember, if you go back, if you play, remember, go back and play Egggate from Adventure 2. A lot of those robots just pop out of nowhere from the sky and on top of you. That's the thing. So I guess they're trying to imitate how the Sonic Adventure 2 stages were. I mean, not everything
some things should stay behind.
Yeah, some things should stay behind. Dimps. Just saying.
But this is a celebration of all things Sonic, all the trappings and everything. It's like I said earlier on in the playthrough. People want Sonic to embrace its roots more, so there you are. You've got trial and error level design.
Embrace all things Sonic. Neglects the handheld games.
Yeah.
All
right.
Okay. The guys did say earlier there's a rush level in the game.
Yeah, one level.
Well, so you can't say they neglected them.
But it's like, why are we having levels from the console games? This should have been.
Yeah, we already went through that.
We already
I ask
mentioned
again,
that.
where's Music Plant?
Yeah!
So anyway, for this remix, this one is a bit more of a hip-hop remix for Radical Highway. Like I mentioned, whereas Emerald Coast's songs feel like they're pretty much just ripped from the original, these both feel like, clear-cut remixes that, while having the same melody, change stuff up drastically.
Oh look, reference to the original stage. That little bit with the springs. Alright, let's keep going. Again, same thing. Like I said, same thing applies. What I said before also applies to the rush stages. I don't particularly care for the. I don't particularly find much of a point in having the two. Of having the homing attack into these stages, because I mean the whole point of the homing attack was to make it easier to hit enemies in 3D. So I feel like it's one of those things where it's just like we might as well just have the player, maneuver himself with a jump. All right, moving on. Yeah, that's basically it. Like, the level design in this game is not particularly engaging, in my opinion. There's the occasional set piece that is fun, like Jova said, but the actual level design itself is very... Yeah, see? Like, there's not much in terms of, platforming, and there's not really that much in terms of gimmicks. You're just kind of running forward, really. Fuck me.
I wonder what it'd be like if Inti creates a Sonic game.
I don't know. Inti creates specializes more and more old school, traditional type of platformers rather than something like Sonic, like something more, something that's much more old-fashioned, more NES minded, if you will.
They made the Mega Man Zero games.
Well, maybe they could do a Master System style Sonic game.
That would be fun, but yeah, I guess that. See what I mean? Just like in the actual original game, a fucking robot falls on the sky out of nowhere, right on top of me.
I don't think there was even a drop shadow.
No, there wasn't. It just randomly pops up out of nowhere, right on top of me, just like in Sonic Adventure 2.
I'm just glad it's you playing this, not me. Otherwise, I'd have. Yeah, there's a reason I have I don't keep playing things that annoy me thing. Otherwise, I'd have thrown my 3DS on the floor.
You do tend to give up on games a bit easily, though. Especially when you
so
sell
what you're saying,
them too.
So what you're saying?
I suck.
So what you're saying is let the 3DS hit the floor. Let the 3DS hit the floor. That's what you're saying, right?
Wow, you actually listened to that song.
It was the theme tune, or the first theme tune to the WWE's revival of ECW.
Yeah.
They dropped it when the Chris Benoit incident happened.
Yeah.
What was the name of the song?
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Alice sing it pretty often.
It's a great song.
Okay, so there's a funny story about that. Someone like a decade ago, somebody uploaded the first Broly movie, and they replaced the song where he transforms for the first time with "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor." I'm like, what is going on here?
Copyright, I guess.
That was my first time watching the movie, and it felt seamless, like it was well edited. And that it was like, what is this?
So you watched a fan edit then?
I didn't know it was a fan edit.
See, this is why this game, just to bring this back here, this is why this game usually gets forgotten about in discussions, because yeah, there's not really that much to it. Oh, that was see, I needed the boost. The problem is, just by the time I got to that part, I ran out of boost. Let me put it this way, Dimps. If you want me to to use all my boost to get through that part obligatorily so I can get through, that's fine. But make sure you put in a good amount of rings or a boost box right in front of it, so I don't get to a point where I see. That's the thing. If you reach that ramp with no boost left, like I just did, you can't get through there, because you need, like, the game even prompts you with the button for you to boost. You need to use the boost to get through there. So if you run out of boost by the time you get to that ramp, like I just did, you're kind of screwed. You have to, go back or die. Like, come on, guys. Like, Joe, where am I? That's now. So I think I've pieced together more of what's happening, and it's not good.
That's no good.
Yeah. Very good. Well, not to mention Sonic. Shouldn't that be classic Sonic's line?
If he could talk, but for some stupid reason we don't want me.
When that thing goes for time, it tears space apart. It leaves areas empty and dead and sticks them in this weird white limbo.
Sometimes I wish Sonic talked less.
But when the Sonics accelerate through time, they fix space somehow, returning color and life. Oh, go on.
She already saw Sonic Prime.
And I guess we have to run like there's no tomorrow, or there won't be a tomorrow.
I actually haven't seen Prime.
It's good.
I've only seen the first episode.
I've seen it. It's good so far.
I've seen a couple of clips, and that's it.
I still prefer Boom. But granted, I haven't seen Prime all the way through, so it probably gets better on.
Go, Java.
Looks like we've got company. Let me handle this one.
A new boss stage gate has opened. Yeah, Classic Sonic doesn't get any more stages. Any more boss stages, I mean. From this point on, all the bosses are from Modern.
Except for the final boss, which...
Well, yeah.
That's how it was. That's how it was in the console version, too.
But first we have a special stage to go through. Also, Dej, are you starting to see a pattern here? Sonic runs so hard, he brings color back to the world. Sonic runs so hard, he tears a hole into the space-time continuum and gets out of null space. Man, like, this running is the solution to everything, apparently.
Well,
You have time to worry? Then run.
I can't wait till Sonic 4 where it's just a spiff on Flashpoint.
Alright, if I remember correctly...
The universe to be turned into an animated one.
If I remember correctly, this is the special stage where I fail. This one has a lot of bombs. This one is gonna take at the very least one try because and now because of the speed and I basically as you can see. So when you
There's
get
one hero special stage that's like this as well, and it's just
Hey, at least this doesn't control like total booty cheeks.
No. The problem with this is not the controls. It's more so that when you play this for the first time, and yes, while this is technically not my first time, this is my first time playing it in years, so it might as well be the first time, right? So basically, I didn't remember any kind of the layout for this special stage. So basically, I failed the first time. But okay, I guess I got a good grasp at least. So let me try again. You can restart, but even if you don't restart, you can just go back to the menu and select it again. Again, look at this stage. A Dimps-made Sonic game where getting into the special stage is not a complete fucking nightmare. Miracle! It's a miracle!
Also, I might like Heroes, but you will never catch me of them defending the special stages in Heroes outside of the aesthetic choice.
Are we gonna acknowledge the rumored Sonic Heroes remastered, or no?
We have acknowledged it before, I think not in this LP.
No. But there's a rumor going about, so I guess we'll see how that thing goes. What I do recommend, Shiroi, is just playing the PC version with mods, because someone made a physics mod that fixes that shit.
I just can't wait. Like, if it happens, it'll be hilarious if it's the one Sonic remaster that doesn't have any shenanigans surrounding it, but people will be like, "Wow, this game does not play well. Is it buggy or something?" Like, no, that's
it was always like that. But
it was always bad.
Here's the thing: here's the thing, Sonic, if they did something akin to polishing it, like the community did with the PC version, that could be an interesting thing. But I'm not going to hold my breath now.
We don't even know if it's happening yet anyway.
Yeah, as you can see, there's a shit ton of bombs in this particular one, so yeah, this is one that definitely maybe helps not to boost as much as I'm doing. Because I'm constantly boosting to see if I can get the emerald quick. But for this one, probably not a good idea. However, if I remember correctly, I do succeed this time. I'm almost there. One cool thing is that, unlike the Sonic Heroes version, you always can look at the bottom screen to see how close you are to the emerald. So, go on.
I mean, you can do that in that version too.
Hold on, just go on, Shiroi.
They probably won't, but if the Heroes remake does turn out to be a thing, it would be nice if they used
There you go.
other characters as well, like, or swapped some characters for others, from later in the franchise.
Can we get different voice acting?
What I'm asking is, can I have Blaze, please?
No.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I've listened to the voice acting from like all of the Adventure era. It's not very good.
Okay,
It's like they had no voice director.
Yeah, it's important to remember that the Adventure era was infamous for not having good voice direction at all, or lack of, at least.
I'm just gonna say it. I always found Ryan Drummond overrated as Sonic, even before that became the popular opinion.
Alright, look, we got a hipster over here.
Speaking
I
of
wish I
hipsters,
could've-
Shadow.
My problem,
He's a boomer.
my thing with Ryan Drummond and his incredibly horrible behavior in real life aside, the thing about Ryan Drummond is that we never got to hear him in the same proper good conditions the voice actor needs like the current actors have. It's kind of like the voice acting in Final Fantasy X, where the poor voice direction really hampers James Arnold Taylor's performance. Well, we can only talk about what ifs for so long. The point is, now we're racing Shadow.
That's how I feel as well, though, because I like as far as the voice actors go for Adventure, I like everyone's tone. It would have been nice to hear them actually act properly with the direction.
I will say this. David Humphrey is still my favorite Shadow, and I'm sticking to that.
I like the guy who voices Shadow in Prime. I believe his name is Ian.
Oh yeah, he's good. It's just that even in the poor direction of Adventure 2, I always found David Humphrey to be one of the highlights of that game, because he gives so much humanity to Shadow in his more emotional scenes. It's so good.
Aside from Ian Hamlin, my favorite Shadow has always been Jason Griffith.
I don't mind Jason Griffith as Shadow. I just think he tries a bit too hard to sound badass with his voice. His Shadow voice.
I feel like that's more how Sega wants.
Yeah, sure.
This is my OC. He's the coolest thing ever.
The reason
he has no friends. Team Talk isn't a team. Wow, you can tell I'm
created in a lab.
Reggie, are you venting again?
Alright, let me bring Divinus back to this. The thing about this stage is, don't boost all the time like I did in my first try, because, as you're about to say, I'm going to lose in a moment, because, yeah, don't boost all the time, because if you boost you need to conserve your boost and only use it in specific instances, so don't do what I'm doing right now.
I actually do like how this fight does ask you to be a bit more
conservative
wise with your boost.
Yeah. So basically, be careful. All right, that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna try again.
That's unfortunate.
We're gonna try again. This time.
I'm the coolest.
Yeah. That's another thing, by the way. Another thing we could have also gotten a script with better translation. That would be another good thing, by the way. But
I like David Humphrey as well. It's just I always found him just a little too quiet.
That's the thing with Shadow in Adventure 2. It makes sense because Shadow is meant to be have an aura of mystery about his story and everything, and of course that's the game where he's the most vulnerable.
When I say too quiet, I mean is in the sense that it almost sounds like he's almost always whispering, whereas everyone else sounds like they're speaking in at least a proper
for the
level of
that is true. That is true, but that is true. I don't mind it personally, but again, at the same time, I feel like I really love his tone of the voice in particular for Shadow, especially like for example, even for the conditions of the voice acting in that game. Like if you rewatch that flashback between Maria and Shadow, where they're looking down on the Earth, considering the bad conditions he recorded that line, and David actually does a pretty decent job delivering that line, considering the circumstances.
He hit him right. So
Yeah. Like it's one of like I would have loved to hear David Humphrey as Shadow using the Studiopolis setup, like because he does.
Shout out some of the best delivery as far as lines go.
Yeah, like it's
it's not saying much, but yeah.
Well, like I said, Wibbs, there's only so much a voice actor can do when he has no voice director giving him direction and the script is poorly translated. So.
Yeah, I am the coolest.
Yeah. All right, moving on. The point is that was radical.
I kind of wish you could have used Sonic 1 in that fight as a good callback.
Yeah, that's an interesting. It's interesting you say that, Edge, because now we get to fight the Biolizard as Sonic, which I mean,
to be fair, we did also do Radical Highway, which is originally Shadow Stage.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that is true. That is true. It's just that I don't know. It's just like I feel like having Sonic fight this completely misses the whole point of the context behind the original fight.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a time-traveling venture, so Sonic can now go to the past, and I guess we can assume that, like, what Eggman did in the past was incapacitate Shadow, so now Sonic has to take care of Biolizard. Also, that's not how you fight him.
I know.
I mean, would it be better if you just fought Metal Overlord or something?
Let me put it this way, Jova. My muscle memory is getting the better of me because I keep expecting this to have 3D movement because you know I'm so used to playing this boss with 3D movement. But no, you're still locked on a 2D plane, even though it doesn't look like it. You can't move around in 360 degrees of movement. So as a result, my muscle memory with the original version of this boss messes with me. Go on.
Also, Dad, it's funny you mention Metal Overlord, given who our third boss fight is in this game.
Okay.
Lately, whenever I play SA2, I'm always reminded of that Sonic SA2 randomizer run someone called me Johnny did, where it made such interesting. When the randomizer made some interesting decisions and had the final boss of the game be a flying dog for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it has live and learn and all and everything.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, the basic gist of it is this. The boss works pretty much like the original. The only major difference is that you're stuck in a 2D plane, and it makes the boss, in my opinion, far less mechanically interesting than the original incarnation. Fuck, okay. Moving on. You also have to dodge the...
Yes, I also played Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
As have I.
Why did you run into his tail?
I fucked up, okay? I fucked up, okay? Yeah, there's also the fact that, again, I'm so used to being able to move the camera in this boss in the original version, but my muscle memory gets the best of me. Like I keep trying to press an imaginary right analog stick in an attempt to move the camera, but I can't.
You know what?
I'm getting Sonic Rivals boss fight vibes from this one.
Actually, the way this boss works is more akin to the Sonic Rush bosses, where you're like in a rotating 2D plane that uses 3D camera movement. This is much more akin to the Sonic Rush boss stages, I will argue. Go on.
But yeah, no, fair point about the muscle memory, although, like I said, it's not too different than the original, just locked on a 2D plane.
That's the point, but that to me makes a world of difference. That's the
Fair enough, given that you can't control the camera as well.
It's one of those things where look at this. The angle is the exact same, so my muscle memory starts acting up. Like when I keep expecting. Not to mention, this boss was designed with Sonic Adventure gameplay in mind, which is slower than Boost gameplay. So Sonic is a bit faster for a boss like this than I would have liked.
I mean,
yeah, at least you don't have the opportunity to fall down a hole.
I guess.
Watery slide, so that's better, right?
Okay, I'll give them credit. I do feel like they adapted this boss well enough to fit the 2D plane. Like, yeah, some stuff might catch you a bit off guard, but I'll give them credit. It's not like they just pretty much one-to-one ripped how the original worked and just called it a day, because then that would have been chaotic. They do give you proper time to react to stuff as well, too, so I'd say it's fine. Not the best, but it's fine. It works. Which, again, pretty much describes the game as a whole.
That's basically it. This game is literally just like Fire and Ice. It's a game that exists. It's completely inoffensive, but at the same time, it's not really interesting and not really worth the time to play it, because it really is one of those games where there are far better. Again, the HD version gives you everything this game gives you, but better. Except from, of course, I mean, yeah, this game does have its own original voice music, so its original music mixes. But again, you have the soundtrack for that. You don't need to play the game.
I was going to say, I mean, at least this game has better music than Fire and Ice.
True.
Although, to give Fire and Ice credit, it did actually have.
Oh, and here see, the homing chain balls thing is also entirely in 2D, so it's basically just this.
No, but this works better.
It does.
Yeah,
to be fair, yeah.
And I guess I'll
what do you think of this remix?
This remix was made by, let me see, Biolizard. It was remixed and produced by Richard Jock.
I mean, what do you think of it? Do you like it?
I think the remix is good. I don't like Richard Jock, but the remix is good. He's a good musician, and that's all I'll say.
Yep.
Same. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said before. Speaking strictly musically here.
Yeah, same thing.
It does say something that one of his earliest soundtracks, Shinobi X for the Saturn, the European version specifically.
Yeah, it's like I said before.
That was done in like 2 weeks. He had very little memory to work with, and that's still a better soundtrack than the rest of the world got. Sure,
it's the same thing I say about Ryan Drummond. Like, I do like the tone of his sonic voice, even though he's a shit person. So. Ooh, look at that! 3D! Kind of.
Gotta make your way through.
The controls for this part are not particularly great, by the way. Come on. There we go. Jesus.
Nailed it! Such a nail clencher as the original fight is in that last bit.
I'm kind of... Rank A.
I know you did it with no rings.
That's probably why that's the thing. Whatever. Moving on.
You did it.
I did it. I never expected to see Biolizard again. Look at this exclusive conversation from this version.
That was easy. I fought him before, after all.
Indeed.
And I
wait. No, you didn't. Shadow did. No, you didn't. Shadow did.
No. Actually, he did. Remember Final Hazard?
Oh, that's Final Hazard, not Biolizard, but whatever.
I mean, Final Hazard is literally just Biolizard with his ass shoved
but
the arc.
You mean you're doing great? Sonics! Right, I'm never going to get used to that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Pedro, let's be honest. Final Hazard is
Sure.
Biolizard
The
stuff.
PNG again.
The PNG!
Oh.
Not the PNG! No!
Watch
Get
out!
it away from me.
Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah! Chaos Emerald. All of a sudden.
Oh.
The red and bass.
We didn't have enough special stages, so here's an emerald for you.
That's a Chaos Emerald.
You get a freebie.
That monster sure didn't like that emerald. What? What do you... Visuals, game. We need some kind of visuals to convey what just happened, guys. The Chaos Emerald...
We don't have the budget.
We need to collect all 7 of them. That almost never happens in any Sonic game. Once we collect the Chaos Emeralds, we'll use them to defeat that monster. And
Imagine
then,
because of the time travel stuff, one of the emeralds just disappears from the roster.
and then we can restore the world to what it was before. You guys have your work cut out for you.
An adventure's just no fun if it's too easy. Don't you think?
Don't you think, player? That's Sonic for you. I figured you'd say that, so I have a little present for you.
Oh, and on my birthday, too.
Whisper, 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 whisper.
Okay. Wow, that's a great idea. Sounds awesome, Tails.
Then here you go.
Some new shoes.
Thanks, Tails. Let's give them a try then.
Let's just hope he didn't pick up the slow sneakers by mistake.
What were you doing? I made Sonic's shoes lighter by approximately 30%. If my design works, it'll let him move more freely, even in midair. Basically, what this translates out to, it gives you the stomp. Interesting. Maybe I can do that for my Sonic too. Sure, I'll show you how to do it later. So yeah, Tails and Classic Tails actually interact more in this version. Thanks! This is kinda weird though, isn't it? Huh? What's weird? I'm getting tips for myself!
That smile is precious.
That's right. Jova?
Ha!
Wow, what's that?
Sonic. Best mate.
That move's called a stomp. It debuted in Sonic Unleashed. Go ahead.
These are great, Tails. Thanks.
No problem.
And there we are.
New
Yeah,
stages have opened: Water Palace and Tropical Resort. And Sonic can now use the
And
stomp.
Sonic can now stomp on people. I mean things.
You received the mission. We'll look at the missions later. For now, let's just continue.
Yeah, basically, Deji, in the since you weren't here in the last part, one of my main critiques of this game is that I think the dialogue's really dry.
I feel like that conversation we just went through was fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, alright, so now we have finally a handheld level, the only one in this game, for some reason.
Palace from Rush.
Yes,
Thank you, I guess.
So tune in for that next part.
See ya.
See ya.
Toodles.
Bye.